Hi everyone, it's Louise from Louloupurple. Today I'm going to show you my Halloween art journal page using the free gifts from Craft Stamper magazine. So first of all, I am taking a few pages out of my art journal. I am now using my matte medium to stick 2 pages together on both sides. Once this had dried, I then use my white gesso to prime my pages. I then used my heat tool to help with drying time, and I applied a second coat of gesso because the pictures were showing up too much in the background. Once the gesso had dried completely, I then used my distress paint, and I'm using my finger to move the colour around the page. After the distress paint had dried completely, I then used my matte medium and a sheet of decoupage paper with Halloween images on it, and I used my matte medium over the top to stick the pages down. I then left this to dry. So now I'm using my black VersaFine ink pad and I am stamping my images onto white cardstock. I am then going to use my Cosmic Shimmer clear emboss powder over the top of the images. I then use my heat tool to heat set the embossed powder. So now I am using the free gifts that I got from my Craft Stamper magazine, and I am doing the same thing as before, inking them up and putting the embossed powder over the top. And again, I'm using my heat tool to heat set the embossed powder. Now that my art journal page is dry, I'm just trimming away the extra paper from around the edges. Now I'm using my white gesso watered down so that I can knock back some of the colour of the orange so it's not quite as bright. I am now using a wet wipe to take away some of the white colour so that the background is more patchy. Now I am using my distress inks and my blending tools to add some colour to my flowers. Now I am using my distress inks and my water brush to colour in the skull images. Now I am using my distress inks again to colour my owls. This time I am spraying the card with water, adding the colour to the owls and letting the water make the colour move around, so it's a more blended technique. Once all the ink had dried on all my images, I then used my distress glaze over the top to seal the inks in. I then cut out all my images. After they were all done, I then used my Pitt pen to go around the edges of my images. Now I am using my art journal block to create a wavy border around the outside of my journal page. I am using my journal block again to make the stems of my flowers. I am now using my black soot distress paint to paint in my wavy border. A quick blast from the heat tool to dry the paint, and then I am adding a second layer of black soot distress paint. Next, I am using my black archival ink pad on a spider's web stamp, which is from Lavina Stamps, and I am stamping this into the corners of my art journal page. Ouch, that was my head on my iPad. I forgot it was there. I'm just using my black pen to extend the spider's web where it's not quite meeting on the edges. I am now using my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue to stick down all the flower heads and skulls. Now I'm using my archival ink pad and my Tooltex stamps to stamp out Happy Halloween. I am using a script stamp in the background to add some interest. Now I am using my modelling paste over a stencil to add some dimension to the background. I am now using my white Signo Uniball gel pen to go around the stems of my flowers and my border. I am now using my black Pitt pen to go over my letters. Now I'm using a free stencil that I got in a magazine ages ago to create a wavy border, and I am just doodling inside the border. Now that my modelling paste is dried, I am using my Distress inks to give the paste some colour, and I am then going to use my water brush to move the colour around. I am now using my white pen to outline all my images and all my letters. I am using my archival inks and my blending tool with a stencil to create more interest to the background. Now I am adding the date. I am now using my white Distress paint, and I think that is the inside of a till roll, to add some circles to my page. Now I am using glossy accents on my owl's eyes so that they have more dimension. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Links to my website, Facebook and more will be in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you got inspired.